All right, so chapter 4, polynomials. All right, so one of the first things we have to know as it relates to a polynomial, and essentially a polynomial is an expression with multiple terms. I guess we could say a polynomial is an expression with two or more terms. I think most people remember that if an expression has only two terms, we could call it a binomial. If it has three terms, you could call it a trinomial. And I guess anything over three, you would just call it a polynomial. So one of the first thing we want to highlight is the idea of the degree or order of a polynomial. So the degree or order of a polynomial is the highest power of x in the polynomial. The degree or order of a polynomial is the highest power of x in the polynomial. All right, for example, 6x to the fifth plus 5x squared minus 3x plus 1 is a polynomial of degree 5. Now, it is a polynomial of degree 5 because the highest power of x in the polynomial is 5. So the degree or order of a polynomial is the highest power of x in the polynomial. And in the example, 6x to the fifth plus 5x squared minus 3x plus 1, the degree is 5. All right, so the next thing we're going to move to is straight to is example 1. Now, in example 1, we're going to have to add, subtract, multiply, and divide two polynomials. So all right, so I'm just going to pause and give you a chance to attempt example 1 before I do it. All right, so let's do example 1. All right, so in example 1, we're asked to add p of x and q of x. Now, one way, so we have what? P of x plus q of x. Now, one way to do them is to simply write out all of p of x plus all of q of x. Or you could do it like something like this. P of x is what? 4x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus q of x. Q of x is 6x squared minus 2x plus 2. All right. All right, so what we're going to do is that we're going to add these two. So this is one approach you could take. The other approach, you're basically used to that. You did that a lot when you did CSEC. So let's add it. Everybody should remember that in algebra, you add and subtract like terms. There is no other term in x cubed, so you just write back the 4x cubed. We have minus 3x squared plus 6x squared. So that would be plus 3x squared. Now 2x squared plus minus 2x squared is 0. 2x squared plus minus 2x squared is 0. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So px plus qx is simply 4x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3. All right, so let's do p of x minus q of x. In a similar way, 4x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 1 minus, and we have 6x squared minus 2x plus 2. We're subtracting. And here's what I would say. Remember, in algebra, you can only add and subtract like terms. There is no other term in x cubed, so you're just going to write back the 4x cubed. Now, minus 3x squared minus 6x squared is minus 9x squared. Now, 2x minus 2x is positive 4x, because minus is plus. 2x minus 2x is positive 4x, because minus is plus. Now 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So px minus qx is 4x cubed minus 9x squared plus 4x minus 1. All right, let's do px multiplied by qx. So I'm going to write the qx first. And so in px, p of x multiply by q of x. Now, I'm saying I'm going to write q of x first. And essentially, I'm writing q of x first because it has fewer terms. Multiply by p of x. Now, of course, I can do this because the multiplication of algebraic terms is commutative. So in other words, order does not matter. Doesn't matter which one you put first, the multiplication of algebraic terms is commutative. All right, so let's multiply. I'm going to multiply everything on the right first by 6x squared. So I'm going to multiply everything on the right by 6x squared. Now 6x squared times 4x cubed is 24x to the 5th. 6x squared times 4x cubed is 24x to the 5th. 6x squared times minus 3x squared is minus 18x to the 4th. Once the base is the same, you add the indices. 6x squared times 2x is positive 12x cubed. And 6x squared times 1 is positive 6x squared. So what I just did is I just multiplied everything on the right first by 6x squared. Now I'm going to multiply everything on the right by minus 2x. So this activity is more tedious than it is difficult. And what you need to do while doing this is to be careful not to make any errors. Now, minus 2x times 4x cubed is minus 8x to the 4th. Minus 2x times minus 3x squared, a negative times a negative is a positive. 2 3s 6. X times x squared is x cubed. Minus 2x times positive 2x. A negative times a positive is a negative. 2 2s 4. X times x is x squared. Minus 2x times 1 is minus 2x. And lastly, I'm going to multiply everything on the right by 2. Now, 2 times 4x cubed is 8x cubed. 2 times minus 3x squared is minus 6x squared. 2 times 2x is 4x. And lastly, 2 times 1 is 2. So we've completed the multiplication. Next, we need to simplify. To simplify, we're going to add or subtract the terms. And in algebra, we can only add and subtract like terms. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to group all the like terms. There's 24x to the 5th There's no other term in x to the fifth, so I move to x to the fourth minus 18 x to the fourth. There's another term in x to the fourth. There's minus 8 x to the fourth. Checking for more, not seeing any. Move on to plus 12 x cubed, then plus 6 x cubed, then plus 8 x cubed. No other term in x cubed. Then I move to x squared plus 6 x squared minus 4 x squared minus 6 x squared. No other term in x squared. I move to the term in x. We have minus 2x plus 4x. No other term in x, to move on to the constant. And the only constant there is 2. Let's simplify. We have 24 x to the fifth. Minus 18 minus 8 is minus 26. So we have minus 26 x to the fourth. We have what? Positive. This looks like 26 x to the third. 26 x cubed. We have what appears to be minus 4 x squared plus 2x plus 2. All right, so the last part of this question now is for us to divide P of x by Q of x. Of course, this is a long division. So we divide in P of x, which is what? 4x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 1, and we're dividing by we're dividing by 6x squared minus 2x plus 2. Now, if you have never done this division before, it's going to be a little bit weird. The students who did add math, they would have done divisions like this already. So what we're going to do is that we're going to divide the terms on the right, but we're going to only divide by the first term, which is 6x squared. Now, so the first thing is going to be 4x cubed divided by 6x squared. So it's 4x cubed divided by 6x squared. All right, so 2 into this is 2, 2 into this is 3. X squared into x cubed is x. So 6x squared into 4x cubed is actually 2/3 x. So this is 2/3 x. This might be a little bit uncomfortable. It is not, for a student who's seen this the first time, this is not the best example to start a student out with, but it's the first example, so let's just try and work with it. It's not the best starting example, but it is what we're working with. All right, so I just divided 4x cubed by 6x squared. Next, I'm going to multiply. I'm going to multiply everything in the divisor by the 2/3 x. So 2/3 x times 6x squared is going to give me 4x cubed. 2/3 x times 6x squared is going to be, it's positive, so it's going to be positive 3 into 6 is 2. So I'm going to have 4 over 3 x squared. Then it's going to be 2/3 x times minus 2x. So it's going to be positive times a negative is a negative, minus 4. Ooh. All right. This is that x times x squared. Good. Now 2/3 x times, all right, just checking if I made an error. 2/3 x times minus 2x is minus 2/3 x minus 4x squared over 3. Now 2/3 x times 2 is positive 4x over 3. All right, so let's recap in case I threw anybody off a while ago. We started out by dividing 4x cubed by 6x squared. When we did, we got 2/3 x. Then we multiplied 2/3 x by everything in the divisor. 2/3 x times 6x squared gives me 4x cubed. 2/3 x times minus 2x gives me minus 4 over 3x squared. And 2/3 x times 2 gives me 4x over 3. So after I do that multiplication, I'm going to subtract. When I do, I'm going to get 0 on the left, and then now minus 3x squared minus 4 over 3x squared. That's positive 4 over 3x squared. That would be minus 5 over 3x squared. And subtracting, we have what? 2x minus 4 over 3x. And we get positive 2 over 3x. And we bring down the 1. All right, as long as there's an x squared, we're going to divide. So 6x squared now into minus 5x squared. As long as there's a term in x squared, we can divide. So 6x squared into minus 5x squared over 3 is minus 18, sorry, 5 over 18. All right, I'll write what I did. The last division I made, I said 6x squared, 6x squared into minus 5 over 3x squared. So that's minus 5 over 3x squared divided by 6x squared. The x squares cancel. And that leaves what? Minus what? 5 over 18. Then we're going to multiply minus 5 over 18 times 6x squared is minus 5 over 3x squared minus 5 over 18 times minus 2x is positive minus 2x times minus 5 over 18. So that would be positive 5 over 9x. So this is 5 over 9x. And lastly, minus 2 times minus 5 over 18. And what we get is minus 5 over 9. Then we're going to subtract. When we do, we're going to end up with 2 third x minus 5 over 9x. So we have 2 thirds x minus 5 over 9x. When you subtract that, you're going to get what? Just x over 9. That's x over 9. And 1 minus 5 over 9 is actually 4 over 9. All right. Now, once in your remainder, there's no term in x squared, essentially your division is finished. All right, so I think I might need to add a page because I want to show you something. I did foolishness a while ago. Go back in. All right, I want to show you something, so let me try and add a page. All right, insert a page. What I want to show you is this, that P of x, and all right, so P of x divided by Q of x, which is 4x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 1 divided by Q of x, which is 6x squared minus 2x plus 2 is actually equal to, when we divided, this is what we got. We got 2 thirds x minus 5 over 18, and the remainder, which was at the bottom of the screen, which is at the bottom of the screen, which is what, 1/9 x plus, and this says, all right, 4 over 9. So that's the remainder. So it should be plus the remainder 1/9 x plus 4 over 9 over whatever you're dividing by, which is 6x squared minus 2x plus 2. Now, of course, if you multiply through, no, sorry, let's not do it. So in other words, when I divide P of x by Q of x, I got 2x minus 5 over 18 plus the remainder, which is 1/9 x plus 4 over 9 over whatever you're dividing by, which is 6x squared minus 2x plus 2.